Good evening. Could I have your attention here for a minute? Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this 100th anniversary party for the founding of the Czechoslovak state and the independence of all those Eastern European countries after World War I. I want to welcome all of you. My name is Michael Jordan, and I'm going to be one of your hosts tonight. Before we get going, of course, Marek Kutek. Marek, can you just raise your hand in the back here? He's the one you can be thanking the most for this gathering tonight. Marek and I have been having a conversation over the last year or so about this party, and one of the reasons we're here tonight is we decided that we wanted to have a party that was going to include all of the different ethnic groups that were involved in the founding of the Czechoslovak state back in 1918. That would be, of course, the Czechs, the Slovaks, the Ruthenians, the Moravians, and the Silesians, and Silesians. And what I would like to do is, even though this is a public affair, I want to direct my attention to my son, who's over here. He's 18, and he's asking the question right now, where are the Ruthenians? And so the Ruthenians, Andre, are in the far eastern part of Slovakia that overlaps into Ukraine. And so I know that we have a lot of people here from Ukraine tonight. Irina, one of our Ukrainians. Not only a Ukrainian, but a Ruthenian. So we're celebrating you and your family and the heritage tonight. So we thank you all for coming, and of course I'd be remiss in not mentioning the Silesians. They of course since 1795 were waiting for that Independence Day in 1918. They came to all the polls. I mentioned that because they might have been waiting the longest period of time. We're going to have a short program tonight. Most of the evening is going to be food and a lot of dancing later on and some music. So the program is going to go like this. In a minute I'm going to introduce one of our guests, George Drove. Then we're going to have another guest, Roman Kramashek, come up. Marek Kutek is going to make a couple of brief announcements and comments. And then we're going to have a violin performance, followed by the Slovak dance performance group, and I think you'll enjoy all of that. I want to make an announcement about the consumption of food. The food is going to be coming for quite a while, so just slow down. This is going to be one of those great evenings where you're not going to have to worry about going home hungry. I also wanted to make one other comment about this evening in the context of 1918. For those of us Americans that are attempting to get our mind around this 100th celebration of the Czechoslovak state, I would recommend all of us to think about the establishment of our own republic and think of some of the great fathers that we had in establishing our republic. So in the context of this Czechoslovak state, of course, you think about Thomas Masaryk, the first president, similar to our President Washington. He was a professor of philosophy at Prague University. Of course, while he was teaching, he had students such as Edward Beneš, who was the second president of the Czechoslovak state, took over in 1935. And another former student of Masaryk was František Moravec. And as I was preparing for this evening, I was looking for a comment that might frame how important it was for the Czechoslovak state coming together back in 1918. And I think Moravec has a quote that I wanted to give to you. When he was commenting on the greatest day in his life, which was when the Czech Legion entered Prague in 1919, he is quoted as saying, It was an experience given to few men. It was to help mold the character of a generation. I have often thought that there was about the men who marched into Prague with Masaryk the same dedication as gripped the followers of Garibaldi, Bolivar, and Washington. A country had been fought for and won. I believe that some of the fervor of that stayed always with the founding generation. So I think for us Americans, we could kind of be sympathetic to those notions. And so now I'm going to turn the mic over to George Drost. George Drost has been a member of the Czech community here. His heritage is Czech. He is the founding partner of Drost, Killiman, McMahon, and O'Connor. He founded the firm in 1985. He resides in Arlington Heights with his wife, Beth, who couldn't be with us today, but is here in spirit. He's an adjunct professor at John Marshall Law School. He's the current chair and former vice chair of the National Czech and Slovak Museum and Library in Cedar Rapids. He was the honorary consul of the Czech Republic for Illinois, Indiana, and Wisconsin from 2001 and 2006 until we got our full consulate established here. So without further ado, I want to introduce you, give the mic over to George Drost.